What's up everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the software that we use to evaluate and put a budget together for all of our investment properties. This is a super important part of learning how to flip and or rent and hold properties. You gotta have a good budget put together or something that you can go off of when buying these houses. If you do not have a budget or a guideline, you can buy these properties and you think you got them for a good deal, and then all of a sudden the rehab is 3-4 times as much as you thought it was going to be, and it's no longer a good deal. You're not cash flowing, and or you can't sell it for what you wanted to sell it for, or you're way over budget and then you lose money. So that's not good. That's never a good thing. So it was about a year ago, I stumbled across this software. It's called Rehab Evaluator, and it is super simple, but it is excellent. The guy that put it together, I hope he's making a ton of money because the software works really well. Only thing I wish was there was a mobile app for it, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you a workaround for that when I explain it to you on the computer. But yeah, it's called Rehab Evaluator. I am working with them now to see if I can get an affiliate link to get you guys some type of discount for trying out the software. If I do get that link, it will be posted below. If not, just the link to the website itself will be posted, and I apologize, but I am trying to get that for you guys. All right, let's jump over to the computer and I'm going to walk you guys through the software. All right, well now I'm over here at the computer. Let's get started. First, you want to start off at your home screen, which I hope is Google. If it's not Google, you're a weirdo. People that use Yelp and Bing, I don't trust you people. I'm just kidding. All right, so first you want to go up to the search bar and just type in Rehab Evaluator. I've already been there, so it comes up for me. And here we are. We're at the home screen here. I'm going to go over the home screen just a little bit just to get you started. So for most of you, you're going to need to create a free account. Members are going to sign in here. I'm not going to walk through creating a free account because all it is this typical signing up for a website. You know how it goes. You need your email, confirm your email address, all of that. But first, let's go up here to the pricing. Let's talk about that real quick. You guys like how I made this arrow nice and big for you? I hope everybody can see that right here. Okay, so they have 3 different plans. First is the light, free, forever. Next is premium. And then the next one is premium for the year. You pay the whole year up front, and they give you a 32% discount for that. That is what we did. And then here this is. Good. I'm glad this popped up because I wanted to show you guys this. If you go to the website and just hold on for just a minute or go to leave the website, they'll throw this coupon up right here. And with this coupon, you can try it for a whole month for $1. And I recommend everybody doing that first. So again, go to the website, go to the pricing, hang out and hover around just for about 20-30 seconds or so, and this will pop up to capture you and keep you around. And it's good because it's actually a legit coupon. You get to try the whole thing out for $1. So do that. But then once you're ready to sign up, they'll also send out emails with promotions, and that's what we did. We ended up paying for a whole year up front, and I believe we paid around $290, I think, for the whole year. So we got like $100 off. But the light, free, forever, that's not going to give you much. It's going to kind of get you in here. We quickly discovered it wasn't going to work for us. We're managing anywhere between 25 and 35 properties at a time through the software. So we needed the premium version with all the add-ons and, you know, every bell and whistle. So we went ahead and signed up for that. All right, let's go back here. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Of course, I already have an account. And we'll just jump right into this. So this is what it looks like when you land on the homepage once you sign in. It's going to bring up all of the properties you're managing. You know, we have several pages here. We have about 5 pages of property that we're currently managing. But I'm just going to go into one that is one of my personal investments and walk you guys through that real quick. So that's 130 Plantation. If you guys follow me on Instagram, and I may have even done a YouTube video on it, that's the A-frame house. It wasn't a full rehab. It was kind of just go in there, fix some things, paint it. We upgraded some things. We put some Nest thermostats in there. Just made it look new again. And we did put a whole new kitchen in it. That is one big upgrade we did. So it wasn't a full gut and rehab, but just kind of a touch up. But that's kind of what this budget's going to look like. All right, so here's an overview or evaluation of the whole project right here on this landing page. So first over here to the left is your assumption panel, and you can choose up here if this is a rehab or new construction. Ours are almost always rehab. We've only done a few new construction. My partners did 2 townhouses when I arrived, so they were almost finished up when I got here. But other than that, all of our properties have been rehabs. Okay, so first box here is your purchase price. So this is a guideline. Please keep that in mind when I go through this whole thing. This whole thing is just a guideline for you and not a rule. You don't have to fill this thing out every box, and you don't have to do it exactly as it says. Your rehab budget doesn't have to look exactly like their template, but it's just to get you started, and you kind of mold it to what you and your company or you and your partners or just you and yourself do best and what works best for you. So that's why we don't put in closing costs or holding costs, because our holding costs are actually inside of our rehab budget and our closing costs are actually inside of our purchase price. And this is on the buy-in. So we bought this house at auction for $51,000 and $51,006.40 to be exact. Then also I want to show you another thing. If you're just getting started and you don't know what any of this means or how to fill it out, this guy's really thought all this through. You click this little video button right here and it will bring up a video and walk you through how to fill out each panel. So that's really helpful. Again, these little video boxes right here. Also, he has up here what's new, his resources. I mean, this has a ton of stuff to give to you. There's a Facebook group where you can go in there and talk about this stuff, your deals, and if you're filling out a new deal, you have to start a new one of these forms. Okay, so then we're going to keep going here. Rehab budget. We're going to go into that in a second because that's the biggest part of this video. We're just going to keep cruising here, but basically that is the amount of money you're going to need to rehab the project. Once you go into that tab, it completely breaks down everything you're going to do to the house. Next one is financing used. We are fortunate that we never use financing. Well, I guess we do use financing. I guess if you talk about our investors or myself personally, but we don't use banks or hard money. We're extremely fortunate. So this always says 100% all cash deal for us. Then over here is kind of an overview. We got two more tabs here, flip and hold. So I know some of you do rentals. We haven't filled one of these out yet for our rentals, but it looks extremely detailed and helpful. But for right now, we're just going to stay on the flip tab because that's what we do. So this is the first line here, line 17 of this first line of the flip analysis is after repair value. This is what you think the project will be worth when it's completed. Not really what you'll sell it for. Hopefully those coincide, but that's not always the case. Always be conservative on your estimations. So if you think it's going to be $130,000, maybe say $125,000. Look, always do that. Like whatever you think it's going to cost to fix it, go above and beyond that and leave yourself some contingency. And whatever you think you're going to earn, sell yourself short on it or be a little short on that amount. Because you're always going to want surprises when it's good, when more money's coming to you or the rehab costs less. You never want surprises going the other way when you don't sell it for as much as you think you're going to sell it for, or the rehab costs much, much more. So always be surprised on the good side of things. And you do that by being conservative with your numbers. All right, so after repair value for us on this property was $130,000. I actually think we changed that. I think we were around $125,000 and we pushed that up because the market dictated that. So it's at $130,000, which was almost spot on because it's about what we've sold it for. This house is in contract and actually scheduled to close in 1 week from today. So it might even be closed before you guys watch this video. All right, so months to complete sales, the next line, we always put 3. So that's from the time that the project's finished, not the entire length of the project from the purchase, but from when the project is ready to go on the market, we always give it 3 months. Your area might be different. If you're in a really hot market, you might be able to get away with 1 month right there. If you're in a slow market, you might need to push that to 6. What we do is always 6 months on a smaller house, on a smaller rehab, and 9 months on our larger rehab. So if the house is completely burnt down, a complete gut, that's going to be 9 months. A house like Plantation, we'll either do 6 to 9, but usually 6. And basically, it's just 6 months because all we're doing is going in there, fixing the paint, switching out the kitchen, and throwing it back up. Cash required over the life of the project. All this is filled out for you. It's just auto-generated based on your purchase price and your rehab amount. And then the fun part's down here. I love this part. You get down here into the projected resale and projected profit. So the projected resale on this was the same as our after repair value. We thought that was fair. We probably could sell it for that as well. So we went ahead and put in 130. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think we sold it for about 130 with about $2,500 or $3,000 in closing costs. Don't quote me on that, but we were very close on these numbers. Then you go down to the projected profit now. Oh, sorry, line 28, projected cost of the sale. So that's the sale price, that's 5%. That's what we're going to pay our realtor. That's what it's going to cost us to sell it. And our realtor fee is 5% with our realtor that we have. Again, that's my partner's wife. So we do get a little bit of a deal on that. you're going to be paying anywhere between 5 and 7% in your area. We pay 5. Projected profit on this is $42,655. The ROI on that, on the cash, is 52.76%, and the annualized is 158.28%, which is outstanding. Now, please keep in mind, this is our gross profit on this house. We still need to pay our investor out, but we do those calculations ourselves, and we already understand that we have a board with all of our houses on it. All these numbers are in summary, and we have the actual net profit to us, which you can actually fill this out in that manner. But we just do it this way because, well, we like to see it this way, and it helps us keep track of it. All right, now let's get into the fun part. Again, there's a lot more tabs, a lot more things you can go into here, but I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long. All right, we're going to click into the rehab budget. All right, this is the fun part. So again, you're going to not see what I see here because we have customized ours. You're going to see a template that they've put together for you, which is fine to use at first, but the longer you do this, the more you're going to want to customize it and put it together in the way that which you work best. Keep in mind, we have a lot of eyes on this. The bookkeeper looks at this. Our acquisition manager looks at this. Project manager looks at this. The owners look at this. And we've all came together and put this together in a way that we can all read it very efficiently. Okay, so we'll start this thing out here. This is the plan for it. And again, once you fill this out, it auto-calculates back to that home page you saw and puts together your percentages on ROI and resale value and all that stuff. Okay, we're going to start off with soft costs. These are things like design, taxes, B&O taxes for the permits, samples for asbestos reports, utilities, things like that. That's our holding cost. That all goes in these lines right here. So you'll see rehab design was 0 because remember, this house didn't need a rehab design. All we had to do was throw a kitchen in there. Permits did not require in this area. Depending on where you work on houses, dictates whether or not you need permits to work on houses in those areas. Make sure you know about that because the last thing you want is a city inspector pulling up on you and you don't have your permits pulled, and then they all of a sudden stop the job until you get your permits and they give you fines and fees and all that. B&O tax, again, not in this area, but in a lot of places we do houses, there's business and occupation tax, and you do need to pay that to the city. Yes, guys, these taxes suck, but it's part of doing business, and as long as it's budgeted for and your numbers still work, it should not affect you. Just make sure you're paying them. Don't try to skip out on them. That's a no-no. All right, engineering, that's if we needed a structural report. We did not need it on this house, but a lot of houses here in West Virginia do need that. So when we start the job, we usually 9 times out of 10 get a structural report regardless whether we think it has it or not, and that's to help us with the resale. It always helps when people go to buy a house and there's already a report saying that this house does not need any structural repairs at all. If they have to pay for it themselves, then who knows who they'll get and what they'll say. So it's best you already have that presented to them in a pamphlet when they go to purchase the house. Next is acquisitions. That's what we pay people to find the house for us. Again, this was an auction house, so Andrew and myself found this, bid on it, and went and bought it personally. We didn't have to pay the acquisition team anything. Next is insurance. Every house needs insurance, guys. You better have insurance on all your properties. We just budget it for about 6 to 9 months. Sorry, 9 months. We budget it for 9 months regardless, even if it is 6. So we budget for 9 months worth of insurance regardless. Again, and that's the $500 here. That's about average for a house for us. We have multiple houses under a huge policy, so we do get a little bit of a discount on what you may be paying on an individual house, but we do pay this premium on anywhere between 25 and 45 houses at a time. So while yours might be significantly higher on your single house, I promise you overall our premium is much higher than most. So don't look at this number and be like, oh, that's cheap. Yes, but it's relative. All right, next up is utilities. That's where you plug in your AEP. That's our electric company, Mountaineer Gas. All of that stuff goes in these lines. And again, we have just taken a bunch of data we've accumulated over the years on how much a house costs us, depending on the size of the house, and we got an average. And those averages get plugged in over here. And yes, some houses will need a little bit more and some a little less, depending on if they're gas, electric, 5,000 square feet, 1,000 square feet. But you will learn an average. Again, best to be conservative when you're starting out, and maybe you put $700 in this $400 electric box because you don't know yet. Next up is a project manager fee. This was $500 to Steve, so we pay our partner Steve to manage some houses when we don't need a full-time project manager on them because he has a lot of time spent running around looking at all these houses, managing the contractors, and we all kind of get paid in a little bit different ways. Sometimes I take pictures and get paid. Sometimes Andrew and I get paid for acquiring the property or finding the property. We all just kind of help each other out if we notice we're going above and beyond our normal task inside the company. And then if the house is a tight on budget, none of us take any money because remember, the company has to eat too. It should be company first before the owners. Let's just keep going down here. I kind of need to go a little bit faster. I apologize. Maybe I'm going too into depth with these. Again, I want this video being like 2 hours long. I see it's already at 14 minutes. So I'm going to go a little bit faster. So lawn care, cleaning, all these change depending on things like lawn care changes on the season. You may need $500 for the house if you bought it in the summer. You may only need $100 if you bought it in the winter. Hard costs, let's jump into that. This is things like material and our contractors. So material in this house was $7,000 at Lowe's. We have a Lowe's guy that comes out and gives us an estimate. Steve double checks his estimate on the material we'll need, and then we plug that number in here, again with a contingency. If they tell us $6,000, we put in $7,000. Please do that. I cannot stress that enough, or at least have a contingency amount in the overall budget. We do that as well, which is down here. You see where it says overage? Sorry, I'm trying to find my cursor here. Right here. It says overage. We have $5,000 right here for that, just in case any mishaps. And that was overshot on this project, which is fine, again, because we keep it in our pocket. All right, contractors, we have landscaping, Quality Brothers, who did the paint, vinyl, and backsplash. Again, you plug all this in. You put your numbers over here. If you're just filling this out before you get the house, just guess high until you get these actual estimates from your contractors. Then you go back and edit this whole thing. But you guess high. I know I keep saying it. I'm going to beat it to death because, guys, I can't say enough. We've done this to ourselves before. You guess that this is going to be $5,000, then you can't find a contractor that will do it for $5,000, and then all of a sudden, you're at $8,000 for the lowest contractor, for the lowest amount of contractor will do it, and you're $3,000 over budget already. Whereas if you would have just plugged in $8,000 and guessed high, you've been fine. Roof work and all that. So once you plug all this in, you're going to go back here to the home page, and it will bring that number right here for you. $29,839 was the total once we filled all that out. And then it will auto-calculate all that over here, bringing you your projected profit, your ROI, and your annualized ROI. All right, guys, I kind of rushed through that last part because, again, I don't want this video being super long. You can go into as much detail, as little detail as you want, but I kind of want to explain to you guys how we do it as well. And yeah, that's it. Again, you have all these tabs up here to figure out so much stuff, what's new, and this guy's super communicative. I highly, highly recommend Rehab Evaluator. And again, it's Rehab Evaluator, not Rehab Evaluator. Super important when you're looking for this. But I will have the link down below. If you guys have any questions, leave them below. All right, guys, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was super helpful for you and helped you walk you through the software and gave you a better understanding of how we use it and how you could use it to help your business and grow your flipping and our holding company. If you have any more questions, comment them below. There's a ton of things I didn't get into that, especially on the holding side. There's ways to evaluate wholesales. There's all types of things that software can be used for, and that's why we love it so much. And I think it's a pretty good deal, especially if you buy it for the whole year and get that discount for what you're getting. And again, the person that put it together is super communicative, and I think he answers all emails himself, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it appears that way. But anyway, guys, if I got the link, it'll be posted down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.